we're live.
Oh, we did it.
We got there. Yes. Now, tonight, we have got a special guest. But my question to everyone who's going to be tuning into this is, do you have a ghost and do you want to free it? You're probably going to be scratching and thinking, what is this lunatic talking about now? But anyway, so we're going to get into it and we're going to explain what we're talking about. Tonight we have got Ashley Kesner. Her message is a mess into a message. Her story is a bit of a unique one. After struggling for the majority of her life with alcohol use, depression, and eating disorder, self-harm, and surviving a suicide attempt, she decided she's going to start a blog, Ghost in My Bedroom, in order to keep herself accountable to her sobriety.
Sobriety.
Sobriety, there you go. After failing so many times on her own. Needless to say, she's worked it. It worked. She never could have imagined the impact of cynical, not clinical, voice would have, not only helping her find herself, but thousands along the way. Because of that vulnerability, she discovered her voice and purpose to turn her mess into a message and to help others struggling with the same ghost that once haunted her. She's Ashley. She's a sober millennial.
Yeah. 30 something.
She's a mom, a maniac mental health blogger and advocate, and a favourite not so serious recover coach. She could probably include comedian here, but she won't. Maybe we're going to see some comedians tonight. I don't know.
Okay, you probably will. I make jokes a lot.
If she felt stuck in your story, having issues with alcohol and unsure where to turn, she's one of them. It isn't her job to write the next chapter for you, but she's a badass with giving you the power and strength to hold the pen. Do you know what? I have never come across a bio like that in my entire life.
And it's a little unique, right? It's a little unique.
Absolutely. But all I've got to say is welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Adam. I'm just so tickled. I love to connect with people from different areas of the world, especially I might have a difficult time, kind of transcribing your accent, but I love it. I'm just sitting over here like, oh, it's so wonderful.
You're not the first to say that. Definitely you won't be the last.
Beautiful thing. Good. I'm glad.
So you know what? We're going to spice things up a little bit. We're going to start with, instead of just diving right in, I'm going to give you a quick fire question just from top of my head.
Okay.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Film or box set?
Film.
Indian or Chinese?
Chinese.
Favorite season?
I can't pick the one. I come from an area that has 4 equal seasons. I love them all.
There you go. You know what? We're going to stop there. Because we're going to be out there forever.
Stumped you.
I'm sorry. But anyway, we'll start with, obviously, before you became this badass and the unique one, let's ask, who is Ashley? Like, where are you in the world? And, like, what's your backstory? Like, how did you grow up?
Sure. Yeah. I am located in Pennsylvania in the United States. I actually am born, raised, and still live in the same tiny town that I grew up in. I love it here. I love, the environment and my family is here too. So it's really beautiful for me to stay here. And I have a daughter, and her, my partner in crime, I call him, my co-parent, wonderful man that I parent with, lives just right down the street. So I have the perfect setup. It's wonderful. But yeah, so I was born and raised here. I've been here my entire life. I came from two wonderful parents, pretty normal life actually. And, I probably say lower middle class, probably too. Never really any struggles throughout my entire life. I was a bubbly teenager, and then shit just really went down the toilet.
Yeah.
Pretty much. To really no fault of my own. And I don't know if this is where you want me to kind of dive into my story, but I'll give you a little bit of that background, but leaves some suspense if people want to go read about it at the blog. But basically, I was diagnosed at 16 with severe depression. I started to actually feel symptoms when I was 12 years old, but wasn't clinically diagnosed until 16. And the way I coped with that through my life was with alcohol. Unfortunately, it took over my life until I reached a point where I tried to take it. Going into inpatient and coming out of that experience, I knew then that I needed to get sober to get my shit together. That was my aha moment. But I tried AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. I tried that. It just wasn't for me. And I fell back into probably the worst depressive episode of my lifetime, where I was in bed for 2 weeks about not eating or bathing myself, contemplating another attempt at ending my life. And it was here that I had a choice to make. I could start over, or I could carry out the latter, take another, try another attempt. Mm-hmm. Something higher than me that I still don't like to put into words because I don't think I meant to, told me to get out of bed and write it all down. And so that's what I started. I started ghosting my bedroom and shared to my Facebook page, to all my family and friends, admitting all the crap that I was going through to keep myself accountable. And it worked. It worked so well. And I've reached such a beautiful place through this journey. And I feel like now I've just kind of reached, and my friend always likes to say, ride the vibe. And so I'm that's what I'm doing. I'm riding life's vibe. I'm just carrying out a plan that I believe was always in place for me.
Do you know what? I've got to take my imaginary hat off to you, as I say, because you're wonderful, and we're all grateful that you're actually here today. Because we know how severe and lack of talking about depression it actually is, because very little people actually speak about depression.
Yeah. I mean, just from my experience and what I have seen, mental health awareness has come drastically a long way from even when I was a teen. I mean, I think if it was what it is now, when I was diagnosed, maybe I would have had a better grasp on it, but that's really irrelevant at this point, because it is what it is. If I sit here and spend a lot of time worrying about what could have happened or what should have happened, I'd worry myself down a rabbit hole. I'm not trying to do that, but it is what it is, and it's how my life progressed, and it's gotten to the place where I've now just feel like it's all a blessing. It was all meant to be for a reason, and that's a really good feeling. It's a really good feeling to do what I do and help others through that. And I openly discuss it all the time. I'm very transparent because I have fully forgiven myself and in a way just repented for everything that I've experienced, and now just work to spread as much hope and happy as I possibly can to those that are challenged with stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you actually know? I'm actually going to ask. Do you actually know what the trigger was?
The trigger? Trigger for what? For what are you referring to?
Trigger for the depression itself.
No, I believe that I believe firmly that it was genetics and something that I was predisposed to. It runs in my family on my dad's side. So, you know, it is just something that I was meant to happen and part of my life. And, you know, it's just not my fault. It's not my fault. There was, you know, and I try to explain that to a lot of people because I think in society, we are trying to justify it with a reason, and sometimes there isn't a reason. Sometimes, and like the episodes that I have experienced, there is no trigger, and that's the issue with it, because people will come to you if you say, my thing is, I always say, I'm having a day, I'm fighting my own brain, and I think that's the problem. Then you get a lot of people that are trying to fix you. They're giving you advice to get over it, but it's really not about that. It's not about fixing us. We're not broken. We just have a diagnosis, and that's what I try to help people understand. It's just it's your my other friend Amber calls it your dumb brain versus your smart brain, and it really comes down to self-awareness of going, this is my dumb brain, this is my smart brain. I'm going to choose to listen to my smart brain because I know that there's, you know, another side to this. And that's where I've gotten.
Yeah, absolutely. And is that where it started? Where you're blogging of you ghost in your bedroom?
Yeah. So when I started blogging, really I had reached rock bottom. That was my bottom. You know, people ask me, was your suicide attempt your bottom? No. My bottom was when I found myself in that depressive episode in the worst apathetic state that I have ever felt. I always say that apathy is the worst pain that I've ever felt. The most painful thing to experience is nothing at all, in my opinion. And that's where I was. And so it's really hard to put into words with other people. But when I talk to people that are thinking about ending their life, experiencing that really helps me to connect with them and walk hand in hand with them to that next chapter that I was, and not feel ashamed for it. And that's the whole point, is that human to human connection, and to eliminate that hierarchy level between provider and peer, because I think that's a struggle right now. And I think, you know, that's what I'm freaking great at. Because I just love everybody. I love everybody. So I'm like, let me share you my story. Look, it's possible. This is your proof right here. I have it all documented of the step-by-steps that how you can do this. And I'll walk with you during.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, obviously, we know when you are experiencing a depression moment, or whether you are contemplating suicide. I should know because I was there myself once. Those voices can be dangerous.
Oh, absolutely. They're maddening. To fight and convince yourself of another truth, to when what you're listening to is reality to you, it's maddening. And I still have to continually do that sometimes. Now, with where I am spiritually through this, where I have gotten and progressed to, it helps me immensely because I have that other power to rely on, that I know I'll be okay, even though I feel in that moment that I won't be. And it's why kind of my faith has been very crucial to the whole process. But yeah, when I'm in those moments and you're laying there and you're thinking, I'm worthless, my life isn't worth living. When I start to feel that way, I've trained myself to be so self-aware about it that I'll be like, okay, I'm in an episode right now. And now I use it. I look at everything as a challenge. Okay. So I'm like, how fast can I knock myself out of this episode? And that's really, it's become a game to me because I just know it's not me. This is me. This is Ashley. And I know that's waiting for me on the other side of an episode too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And I can do nothing but praise you for that. Because, like I say, you won't think just what 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, I attempted suicide.
You personally did 2 years ago?
Yeah, I attempted suicide.
So sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry that you had to experience it.
Well, that's how life it is, because this is what not many people actually understand. Mental health, it can attack you at any time.
Mm.
You just do not see it coming.
Oh
You
yeah.
just don't.
Oh yeah, there's no trigger. There can be no trigger. I mean, I've gotten really self-aware about everything that I know what can be a trigger for me, but I've also worked through my triggers in order to heal myself from them so I don't have to really tiptoe around life, I guess you could say. I didn't want to have to do that. And so I forced myself to sit in a lot of uncomfortable places so that I could become comfortable. And that really is how I saved myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just want to say I'm so glad you're here because you're such a wonderful person.
We've only just met.
I know, but I don't need to know you personally to love you, Adam. Come on.
Okay. Anyway, now
you're like, who is this whack job? I am.
Anyway,
if the shoe fits.
I just keep looking at your bio and I'm looking at this one word. And I have never seen this word. I'm 30 in literally less than 2 weeks. And I've never seen this word in my entire life. Millennial. What is it?
Yeah. So that's our age group. That's our age bracket. Where we are as a at 30. I'm 33, so you would qualify as one as well. We get made fun of a lot now. So you've heard of like Generation Z or Generation Y or the baby boomers? Have you heard any of that stuff?
Yeah. I just feel about 80.
Yeah, so that's what that means. So we're millennial mom. That I get a lot of jokes.
Is that millennial not an Ashley word?
No, that's not an Ashley word.
Yeah,
look it up. Look it up. It's a thing. I didn't just make it up. I mean, I make some stuff up occasionally, but I didn't make that one up.
Right. Now, I've heard of a mental health blogger, but a maniac mental health blogger? Now,
oh yeah.
I know I'd come across people that just say it as it is. And they don't think twice. Would you say you're one of them people?
Oh, amen. My entire point of doing this and what I explain it, what my blog is like, because I think people think blog as, a piece or a place to give advice. No, that's not it. My blog is virtually my journal or my diary of my life story, and I just pulled the curtains open for everybody to read. And I did that for a purpose so that people who, if they were in my same position or same stage, if they could relate to me, they wouldn't feel alone, but also to really document and transition my mindsets and the different stages and lessons I've learned throughout. And that actually has enabled me to just really discovered my real voice and is now I've gotten to a place where I'm very firm with my voice and confident in myself, and I'm now going to extract all of those lessons and put them into a book. So now coming soon will be the coming soon will be Free Your Ghost, the book. So
you actually just took the words out of my mouth, because my next question would be, are you ever going to be writing a book?
yeah, the outline is complete and I know exactly what I'm going to do. It's just a matter of, I'm a poor single mom right now, and I'm looking for a publisher, I guess, that wants to take my shit show on the road.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you've just got a powerful story, and we need to get you talking more. We really do.
Oh,
Get
Adam.
all your jokes out.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can. I'm talking all day. So my blog right now has been read by, I think the last time I looked, it's been read by over 33,000 people here, at least here. And then I do podcast interviews quite often. I think I have 4 this week. So as it continues to grow and develop, I'm doing a lot more promotion, but I do network a lot. I connect. My thing is really to connect with people on just a raw human level. I let them kind of come to me and ask me questions, and then I really like to connect with them and meet them where they are. But I do a lot of networking and stuff like that. I just put out my podcast, and so that's fun. It's called Cynical, Not Clinical. It's on Spotify. And I'm really just going to be diving into a lot of uncomfortable topics on there. Right now, especially, I'm discussing a lot about my spirituality. But, in no way do I ever tell anyone what they should be doing. I think that is the difference between me, because I am a coach. I'm not a doctor or a therapist. I consider myself to be somewhat of an encourager. I just love to give people the love and support that they need so that I can, support their decisions and then help them find their happy through that on their own.
I praise you for that. Now, obviously, you say that you podcast on Spotify. Where else can people find you?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you've got your website.
Yeah. So my main website is freeyourghost.com, and that has information about my coaching and stuff that'll be launching in April. I'm just coaching for free now, so now's the time. Come to me, people. I'm just coaching, no charge now, but freeyourghost.com is my main website. The podcast and everything is on there. Really, all of my social links and all that crap too is on there. And then the blog is on there too. The blog, yeah, there you go. Perfect. And then the blog's website is ghostinmybedroom.com. So they both go hand in hand. You can find me either way.
And there you go. Because we're all warriors, and it's time we got people's story heard. Because it doesn't matter who you are, what age you are. If you've got a story, reach out. If you need that support, reach out. Because the only person that's stopping you is you.
Absolutely. That's the whole premise of everything that I stand for and why I started this. And that is actually what Free Your Ghost represents. It's Ghost is representing you.
And there's the description of the ghost. Now, obviously, my last question is, if somebody came up to you saying, I've got such a crisis, I'm self-harming, what would you say to them?
Can you repeat that, Adam? I'm sorry. It broke up a little bit.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. I was just saying, final question is, if somebody, because we all know that with self-harm, it's huge in young teenagers at the minute. huge with self-harming. So if they come onto your website through yourghost.com, booked a session saying, "Oh, I'm self-harming," what piece of advice would you actually give them?
That's really difficult for me to say, because really I love to meet people. I need to meet people where they are and hear their story from them. But I
Yeah,
my advice would really just be to, if you have gotten to that point where you are harming yourself, that's that's a really big sign that something bigger that isn't your fault is happening. And I really just sorry, I get emotional. I really just ask that you please choose you, and either reach out to me, please, and I'll walk with you through it, or tell someone else, and get the help that you deserve, because you are so absolutely worth it.
yeah. See, in this Facebook page, which this is live now, there is over 400 followers. And I guarantee there's many of them that actually want that support. Now, if you're going to be watching this, whether it's now, whether it's replay, just remember, I'm a counsellor, Ashley's a counsellor. We are just two of many people that are here now waiting for your message. Anything else you want to say?
Nope, just I love you, Adam. I love you for what you're doing, and your soul, your heart is shining so bright right now, and I feel it the whole way across the pond over here. So please just keep kicking ass, keep doing what you're doing, because you're incredible. You're an incredible human being.
Thank you. Thank you. And that's all I've got to say. Please, all I've got to say is thank you for coming on.
Sure.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And please do not be a stranger. I want to bring you on again.
Oh, heck yeah. Let's get dirty. Let's get uncomfortable. It's my thing. Not that dirty, Adam. Come on.
I need a beer.
Maybe. You don't say that to a sober person. No, I'm just kidding. You go drink your beer.
I will do. And on that note, I can't believe this is live on YouTube as well.
I love it.
But anyway,
I love it.
I'm going to end this podcast. And yeah, thanks for coming on, all.